Good afternoon. What this video is on is how to become a certified welder. I got it right up here, how to get certified. And there's a lot of misunderstanding when it comes to certifications, and I think it's just because people think that you can get certified and you're just good to weld anything, you know. So I wrote up here everything and then crossed it out. You can't just get certified to weld everything. It's very specific to the process, to the materials, the thicknesses, positions, things like that. You don't just get certified and you're just good to go and you can just go weld anywhere, all right? The two ways that I know that you can get certified, the first is through an AWS accredited test facility I got written over here. The second is a company-based type of system. The AWS accredited test facility means that you can go to an accredited test facility from the AWS and you can take a weld test and they'll give you a little card and you're certified for whatever test you take. And that kind of goes all over the place. Whereas a company-based certification really is just for that company. I think that company-based is probably more prevalent than the accredited test facility. People like to go to an AWS accredited test facility to boost their resume, say that I'm certified in this stuff. But a lot of times it doesn't line up with the company that you go and get hired at. So if you're going to do an AWS accredited test facility certification, I'd suggest trying to figure out what company you want to go to, figure out what they weld, the materials, positions, things like that, the process, and then kind of base your the certification that you get from the AWS accredited test facility off the company that you want to go to. You're hoping to get your foot in the door, so you're going to say, hey, I'm already certified in flux core, overhead, or whatever they do at that company. I do mostly this, company based, and I'm an AWS certified welding inspector, so I can actually do certifications for companies. Now, I wrote up here AWS and ASME. Those are the main two codes that I use. That's what my main knowledge is about, is AWS and ASME. So I just kind of wrote them up there because every certification you get is going to be certified to a certain code, all right? I'm going to go over more AWS stuff because I do that a lot more than any other code. So company-based certifications are usually only good for that company. They don't really transfer. They pay a lot of money to get that certification done. They're not going to give you the certification and say, go weld somewhere else, right? It's mainly for that company. Once you do get certified, know what you're certified to. I wrote that down here. I have a lot of welders that will come to me and they'll say, I'm certified. And I always ask them, what are you certified to? And it's about 50-50. Sometimes they know, a lot of times they don't know. Some people rattle right off all their certs and the codes and the positions, and they know it. And I think it's just important that you know what you're certified to. It's just part of being a good welder, right? Now, the process for getting a company-based certification, which is by far, I think, the most prevalent way to get certified, is through a company. So you get hired at a company, and they're going to certify you. Well, the certification process is as follows. Welding procedure specifications. So your CWI is going to write a WPS, and that is basically a proposal to do a process to do a part, if that makes sense. So they're kind of guessing where the parameters are and things like that, and they write this thing up, but it's not proven yet. Okay, the amperage might not be right. You don't know that until you actually do the testing. So the WPS gets written, and then you prove that the parameters on the WPS are acceptable through a procedure qualification record, or a PQR, all right? And now once you do that, the person that does the PQR is now certified, so you have to write them up a welding qualification test record, and that is the actual welding certification. It's got all the parameters on there, what's your, the positions, whether it's pipe plate, things like that. Everything that you could imagine is in these documents to say you're good to go to weld whatever you're welding, all right? When you're going to have one welding procedure, one procedure qualification record, and then however many welders you got, every welder is going to have to test. So you could have 10 welders, you're going to have 10 WQTRs. All right. So once you get through the process of doing the welder qualification test record, you are now certified to weld that position, that material, that whatever. So once you get certified, they wrote down here, how long does it last? Everybody asks that. How long does it last? It lasts forever as long as you keep welding in those parameters. So whatever position and things that are on this welder qualification test record, if you keep welding, it lasts forever. If you have it lapse for 6 months, you lose it. So how do you keep it from getting lost? You have a welder log. On the back of this welding qualification test record, there's going to be, it looks like an Excel spreadsheet, and there's a place for your supervisor or engineer or whoever oversees you will sign off saying, welder A has welded this on this date, and it keeps the log going. So as long as you don't let your welder log lapse for 6 months, it keeps going. So you never lose it, all right? I always tell welders, keep track of your own log and tell your supervisor, hey, you haven't signed off on this in a while, because if you go more than 6 months, you're going to have to redo the whole certification process. So you want to make sure that you keep this welder log up and running. And what I'll do now is I'm going to print off a welding qualification test record, and I'll kind of show you. It'll be blank, but I'll show you. I'll take a video of the whole extra document, and then I'll go to the welder log on the back, and you'll kind of see what I'm talking about if you don't understand what I'm saying. So we'll go and look at a WQTR now. All right, I was going to use a blank one, but I found one that was filled out from a WQTR I did at a college. You can see there's a ton of information on there, my stamp's there on the right. But that's what a welding certification looks like. It's a welder qualification test record, or a WQTR. What I'll do now is the next page is the weld log. We'll take a look at the weld log, and then we will be out of here. Moving on. So here's a shot of the weld log, and you can see it looks just kind of like a spreadsheet. And it says, if you can read that at the top, I'm not sure if you can, will expire after an inactivity period of 180 days. So all you have to do is keep welding and logging that you're welding, and that will last forever. If you let it go for 6 months, then it will expire and you'll have to recertify. So hopefully that explains what a welding certification is and how you get it. Thanks for watching and subscribing to TV Weld, and we're going to be out of here.